Welcome aboard!
Aqua Kids is back,
So weigh the anchor
and get ready to set sail for more fun.
Aqua Kids salutes Aqua Heroes, people working hard to keep the planet green and blue. This week, we celebrate a pioneer from the past in the field of marine biology. Anton Dorn was a German marine biologist who lived from 1840 to 1909. He had mastered not only medicine, but also zoology, and received his doctorate in 1865. In 1875, he had published a thesis which proposed the new theory on the origin of vertebrates, and in 1874, founded the public research organization Stazione Zoologica in Naples, where he was its director until his death.
Steve has now had a good look at Mono and her mother, and things are not looking good for the pair.
Well, we've sighted Mono and her mother, and what concerns me most is the condition of the mother. She's very emaciated, there's evident weight loss, and you can tell by the ribs of the dolphin, and also that depression right behind her blowhole. That's a postnuchal fat pad, and that's where she keeps most of her fat reserves. But she's probably giving a lot of that nutrition, a lot of that reserve to keep the calf alive. Again, because the calf's been injured so many times, the mouth is now got a lot of injury to it, and it's probably hard for the calf to catch and eat live food, as it should be doing at an age of 22, 24 months, which we estimate it to be now. So with the mother continuing to give her energy to the calf, it's a very strong maternal instinct, and again though, it's causing a lot of concern. Either of these animals will be able to survive. Rolling over for the baby to nurse. What a mom. What a mom.
Since it's kind of established that the mom's in trouble, what's going to happen?
Well, actually the mom and calf are both in trouble, and so we're going to obtain all the relevant documentation we can. We're going to provide it to the National Marine Fisheries Service, Marine Mammal Health and Stranding Response Network advisors. And decisions will be made based on the availability of resources and facilities, and the conditions of these dolphins is determined by veterinarians and a group of collaborative decision makers. Ideally, we want to help the dolphins, but we have our limitations. And if possible, we might bring both dolphins in to the Harbor Branch Marine Mammal Stranding Center at Florida Atlantic University. There they could receive evaluation for their health. We could work to rehabilitate both dolphins and hopefully restore them to good health and release them to the open waters here again to explore their home range.
So what can we do to help?
Well, all the Aqua Kids can get a good message out there to all the boaters to be responsible boaters. Wear your polarized sunglasses, observe the manatee, no wake zones, and dispose of your fishing line appropriately and teach others to do the same thing. Keep our waterways gear-free. Be responsible fishermen, and avoid polluting our waterways. A lot of dolphins and marine mammals suffer from mercury contamination and chemicals, harmful chemicals that get into our waterways and our oceans through water runoff. And those are things that affect humans as well.
Right.
So by taking good care of the dolphins, we take good care of ourselves.
Now, I recently noticed people feeding dolphins off of a beach. What is the danger in that?
Well, first of all, it's against the law to feed wild dolphins, and once they're fed, they're dead. Essentially, they begin to associate humans with their food, and that's not a good place for dolphins to be getting their food. Oftentimes they can become endangered by making close approaches to people for that food, and likewise humans can sometimes be in jeopardy. After all, dolphins are very large and powerful animals, and if they don't get their food and they're expecting it, then there might be a problem there too. So again, the National Marine Fisheries Service has a policy called Let the Wild Ones Stay Wild, and part of that it includes don't feed wild dolphins.
So what happens when fishermen catch a fish and release the fish back into the water and a dolphin finds that easy prey?
That's called depredation, and we're finding that an increasing problem, especially in South Florida, where dolphins are actually becoming used to getting the fish that fishermen release, and thereby associating people with their food and their boats. And this is sometimes a problem for the fishermen, but it's deadly for the dolphin. And that's probably how Mono became entangled in the monofilament fishing line. And that's why we're out here today. Again, the message is clear. Don't feed wild dolphins. Use good judgment and help us protect wild dolphins. She's weak. All right, well, we've had a good sighting and we've got all the documentation we need to provide the National Marine Fisheries Service and our advisors and collaborators about this dolphin's condition so we can make good decisions about trying to protect her and the calf.
Aqua Kids presents Traveler's Tips. These do's and don'ts will help you to be an eco-friendly tourist. When visiting a developing country, be sure not to show off pricey possessions like cameras, phones, jewelry, or designer clothes. It's not only rude and insensitive, but it may create feelings of jealousy or lead your host to believe you think you're better than them. Be friendly, not flashy. Impress the locals with your kindness and courtesy, not your bling.
Don't abandon ship.
There's more adventure to come.
Aqua Kids will be right back.